Welcome back to the Marvel project. Today we're looking at the origins of one of Marvel's most popular characters, the Incredible Hulk, issue number 1. I think it's quite good. It's alright. It's quite like a B movie. I'll talk about kind of the origins of the Hulk, like the meta origins, so like why Stan Lee made the Hulk. Sort of came to the idea, as I say, it's kind of like a B movie. It's sort of based on that kind of science fiction idea, Frankenstein and Jekyll and Hyde and all that. And you can really feel it in the story. It feels like you've got all the main plots. You've got, the kind of man-monster. Is he a man or a monster, or is he both? The kind of big dramatic music. He's a big lumbering creature that was a mild-mannered scientist and all that, science, atomic war, like it's the atomic age. You've got a nuclear bomb is what creates him, and all that, and then military, and it's set in a desert. He's perfect, and it's got not only communists but super communists with the gargoyle. It's a lot of interesting stuff. We'll get into it. So the basic story, you all probably know the origins of the Hulk. It's the very comic booky origins. They change it pretty much in most adaptations, like in the most recent, in this Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they have the sort of take it from the Ultimate Universe, where it's, it was using gamma radiation to try and activate the super soldier serum, and in the TV show it was sort of similar. It was like experimenting gamma radiation. Pretty much all adaptations have used that explanation, but here it's the straight up nuclear bomb. Just radiation, as we all know, with superhero comics. God rolls a dice when you get hit with radiation, and either you get cancer or superpowers. And I'm not sure which Bruce Banner would have preferred. I don't know, but the Hulk, kind of a weird superpower to have, I guess. And obviously the reason he goes in, he sees Rick Jones, who is the sidekick for hire in the Marvel Universe, eventually becomes Captain Marvel for a little while. He finds Rick Jones. He had a bet from his friends to say he couldn't sneak past the guards in his car, which you got to think, how bad were the guards at this nuclear testing facility if they couldn't stop a guy they didn't notice a guy just driving through in a car? Like, what perimeter had they put around this? For miles you would have like a perimeter around the nuclear test site, because you don't want anyone, like, not even just trying to get past, like just accidentally walking through. But anyway, he goes through, and he tells his lab assistant, stop the countdown. But his lab assistant, he is secretly a Ruski, a Russian communist who's trying to kill Banner because he hates him. He hates Banner. He hates him. So he activates the nuke. It goes off, and obviously Banner gets caught in the crossfire. He gets Rick Jones into a hole, I think a trench, which I'm not sure would really help. I don't know that much about physics, but I'm pretty sure gamma radiation, especially gamma radiation, like penetrates like through these like solid lead. It's like the only thing that won't, like, is the only thing gamma radiation can't penetrate through. So it would be quite tricky. I'm pretty sure he would get nuked as well, but he doesn't seem to have any ill effects. But he does, to be fair, he pretty much swears a life debt to Bruce Banner and helps him out a lot. You gotta think Bruce may be a little bit antagonistic towards this kid that got him in this situation, but he's a decent guy, he never seems to. And the Hulk doesn't seem to remember what happened, so yeah. There's a couple of interesting things about the Hulk in this issue. He's grey, for one thing. I'm pretty sure most of you will know that. If you're watching a show like this, you probably know that. He was grey, and I agree with their decision to make him green later, because green is a much better colour. It's not too bad on the cover because it's kind of a weird sort of chroma key kind of thing. Not sure I used that right. Don't think it is black and white. Kind of movie silhouette kind of thing. It's kind of cool. In the comic itself, it does look a bit weird. and also he doesn't change based on mood. He changes based on the sun and the moon. Like night at nightfall, he turns into the Hulk. Yeah, and I'm not sure when they did decide to make the Hulk become, based on anger. I don't know. I haven't gotten to that point yet because the Hulk series wasn't really that popular. As I find out, it only lasted 6 issues until they came back in the Avengers, which it's been a long time. It was actually quite a long time. He was in Fantastic Four as well, but it was a long time the Hulk was away. But yeah, anyway, so there's that. Second story, because there's 2 stories, which is another thing. Comics don't do that anymore, do they? Have an origin issue with 2 stories instead of just the one. Well, not even one. Usually most comics have like half or even like a quarter of an origin story in their first issue, so just to make sure you buy the next one. So yeah, so there's that. It's got 2. So it's the first one is all basically Bruce nuked Hulk smash. Basically, he smashes a bunch of military things, and then basically he's dismissed. At the end, he's like, well, it was probably like a bear or an escaped gorilla or something. But then there's the second story where his assistant, they find his secret communist plans, and it's something. It does genuinely say something like secret communist plans on the paper. It says something like you wouldn't have on an actual top secret document, and it's underneath a beaker, which I don't understand how it works, because it's a round bottom beaker, so you'd think it would mess the balance off and it would not be able to sit. Not only that, but it's a clear beaker and this big brown document taped to the bottom of it. So if you there's nothing in it, so if you just looked at the beaker, you would see there is something taped to the bottom of it. So I just don't quite understand how that worked. And then there's and he contacts using a thing in his nail. In his nail he has like all these circuits and stuff, and he contacts back to Russia, and they've got a thing there called the gargoyle. And the gargoyle, who I remember from the cartoon, but I think it's different in this one. He's Russian for one thing. He wasn't Russian in the cartoon, but yeah, he's basically he's an intelligent scientist, and he kidnaps the Hulk because I think they want the Hulk for reasons. Basically, they want the Hulk because the Hulk is like amazing and strong and stuff. They want to use him in the war. But he turns back into Bruce Banner on the way because of the sun. And here's what I kind of like. Well, there's things about this ending I like and I don't like. I like the fact that Bruce Banner is the one who saves the day there. I like that. I like the idea that Bruce gets to do something, because in a lot of adaptations, the movies are better at it. The movies are quite good at giving Bruce Banner something to do. But some of the comics, like Planet Hulk, they don't give Bruce Banner literally nothing to do. Bruce Banner isn't even in Planet Hulk, and I don't like that. I like the fact that Bruce Banner is a character in himself, and he is useful. Whereas the Hulk, the Hulk is also useful. Obviously, he stops the Russian in the first place. But what I don't like is how it's resolved. Basically, they use radiation to make him less ugly, which I don't understand, because from looking at his face, it may be tumours anyway that are making his face like deformed. So surely adding more radiation wouldn't help. I don't understand how that works. But then he becomes good when he looks attractive again. Like, no longer can the communists have him down because he's attractive. And if he's going to die, well, damn it, he's going to die pretty. This is a similar thing to the whole Mole Man thing. It's kind of a weird message. But yeah, I don't know, Stanley had a couple of, they're of their time, the comics, definitely. We'll get into some, definitely the stuff a lot more questionable. Not even questionable, like downright offensive stuff, especially with women, starts to happen. Not like, sort of, like, abusive, like, it's not like physical abuse towards women or anything like that, but pretty sexist stuff happens later, so we'll we'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, as I say, it's kind of like a B movie. I feel it is definitely like a B movie. Like, you know, sort of the thing from outer space, you know, that is one I'm pretty sure. I just said that off the top of my head. It's nothing like what that is, I don't think. But there's, you know, stuff like the Indestructible Man and all that kind of stuff. These sort of 50s, like late 50s, early 60s era films that are about, you know, very much, you know, communists very feature into it. Radiation, because this was the atomic age, very much feature into this. And it's got the pacing of one as well. I say the comics are a bit sluggish sometimes, but yeah. It does. It feels like an old 50s monster movie. And it's a pretty good one of them. So if you're into 50s monster movies, I would say check it out. If you're into Marvel Comics, I say it's an alright issue. It's probably one of those ones you probably read. Most people, if they're interested, it's easy to read these old first issues. They're quite easy to read. So if you're interested, I'd say have a look. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much all I've got to say about it. So hopefully, I tried this again once before. The recording messed up. So hopefully this one did record. I'll see you next time. As I keep saying that. I am making the assumption that you are enjoying these enough to continue. But yeah, I hope you do. I hope you are, and I hope to see you next time, where we will be definitely doing Fantastic Four #4. So I will see you then. Bye.